Yo, welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. I'm going to teach you guys, or actually, I'm going to teach, but I'm going to share with you a training that I actually just did with my team. And it's about how to create true business wealth. Okay. Now, this is a term that I don't know many people have heard of before. It's something that, based on the years of me being in the business and what I've learned, the context that I've gathered, the data that I see, because I analyze all of our data. I have now over a decade worth of data that I can look at and identify a roadmap or a blueprint that will get someone to have an exceptional business, create a business by design, a life by design, and the time frame it's going to take to actually get it done. And thankfully, I have that because I can now share that with you, just like I shared with my team today. Now, this isn't the first time that I shared how to create business wealth with my team before. Typically, I'm going to share that once a quarter. That way, I'm reminding the people that have already heard this before what their forecasted business will look like and what their life will look like following this process. But we're constantly onboarding new people to the team. And so it's a good introduction for them as well. Most teams or brokerages or companies, they don't really lay out a true proven blueprint or roadmap that not only is going to help you close deals, but there's actual like vision and a forecast that if you follow this, here's what your business looks like today. Here's what it will look like year two, year three, year four, and here's what it will look like year five. Okay, and without it being overwhelming, right? And so you're going to get that today. And my team, I mean, we're pumped. We're building momentum right now, and this message really landed, and it got the team excited. And so I'm expecting for a lot of people to make a major impact, not only in their business over the next 90 days, in the rest of the year, but also as well in the community. Okay. So, how to create business wealth and what does it actually mean to build business wealth? I'm not just talking income. The ROT, you probably have heard of ROI. The ROT, which is return on time, the return on time in year one, you're going to grind. You're going to have to put the work in, and it's going to be very uncomfortable. It's going to really challenge you. You're going to have the emotional maturity to be able to push through. But by year 5, the business will work for you. Okay? Here's a quote. This is what I share with the team today. This is my quote. You can either do what's convenient and become acceptable, or do what's required and become exceptional. The second is painful for now, but the first is painful forever. Now, I want to ask you, where are you on that spectrum right now? Where are you right now? Are you doing what's convenient most of your days and weeks? And because other people are doing that in your environment, you're being accepted? Or are you doing what is required, what your dreams and your goals and your aspirations require, and you're becoming exceptional, but you're going through the pain, right? Is that you? Or are you accepting that, you know what, convenience is my approach and I'm going to live in the pain forever? That's where we're at right now. Okay. So where are you? Now, if you are the one who's committed to making this happen and you are excited to hear this message and you're committed to applying it and understanding you're going to work your ass off and it's going to be a 5-year process, let's go. If you're the other person, listen, I'm going to teach you how to get it done. And hopefully, this message will inspire you to take the action. Okay. We're going to start with the framework. The framework is very, very simple to make this happen. Your pipeline is your foundation. And so when I talked to the team today, I made it very clear. Lead generation is not optional. And you need to change your whole perspective and definition of, oh, I worked that day. Because most people will say, I had a showing, I did a showing, I had a closing, I had this and this and this, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, if you didn't prospect or lead gen in any way, you didn't work that day. You didn't work. A day worked is a day that you actually prospected. I don't care how many closings you had. I don't care how many showings. Did you put in the work and the time to build your pipeline, to get it more authentic, to have more opportunities that are going to be ready to move in a specific time frame? Did you do that? And if you didn't do anything that day. And so one thing that I created with my team is the 90-day pipeline threshold. So this is something that, again, this is created within our organization. The 90-day pipeline threshold. Know your number and never go below that number. Let me explain something. When you talk about a shoe store, and this applies to most, like probably any retail store, shoes, groceries, clothing, supplements for health. It doesn't matter. There is an inventory that needs to be taken by the store to make sure that they never run out of inventory, and they call that a threshold. Like if this shoe store needs to keep, let's say they got 100 different shoes, right? Different styles, different brands, whatever. And for each shoe, they can never go below having 50 of those shoes, that specific shoe, across the board. Because if they get under 50, or if they get to 50, or maybe a little under it, that is their trigger to order more inventory, right? Because if they don't do that, then in weeks or months or maybe even days, depending on the shoe, they could be out of stock. And now, if they're out of stock, if you have a shoe store that doesn't have shoes, then that shoe store can't stay in business, right? So that threshold is their trigger to order more inventory to keep the business going. Okay. Now, in real estate, if you have a database of leads that you are nurturing, people that you are talking to, and you're claiming them as a lead you're going or a person you're going to nurture and maintain a relationship. So then when they are ready to buy or sell, you are their guy or girl, right? You have your own inventory. Your inventory are people that have intentions to buy or sell real estate in the future, or maybe right now. Okay. And I taught my team, based on your income goal, you need to create your own threshold of the number of authentic leads that you need to have in your pipeline at all times. And it's a number you never go below. You keep trying to stack that number higher, but it's a number you never go below. And the reason why I can help them determine this is because I track the data. I keep track of the data and I analyze the data, because what you track and what you measure will improve. So I know that if we, or let's say I'm an agent and I have a goal to make $100,000, okay, on my team, that's going to range right around 28 deals to make 100K. Okay. I know that 20% of the people that I have in my 90-day pipeline, these are going to be people that are ready to close. They're going to close a deal in 90 days. So you have for our team, we have we use a CRM. We have 3 different stages that we put these people in: hot, warm, nurture. And that time frame of those 3 buckets or stages equate to a 90-day time frame of these people that are wanting to transact within 90 days. And so 100K income, I know that if I want to close 7 deals per quarter, I need to have 35 authentic leads in my pipeline at all times. And again, I need to have more than that, but I just can never go below 35. And if I do that, then I am guaranteed to do 28 deals. Simple. I know that because of the data. Now, because my mindset is if I'm at 35, I'm in red, right? If I'm below 35, I'm dark red. Like I am, I need to obsess over getting that number of 35, like trying to bump that up as high as I can. Like if you can get 70 in your authentic leads, 70 authentic leads in your 90-day pipeline, you're better off. You're going to be great because 20% of those people will actually transact. And so there's nothing wrong with hitting your 100K income goal sooner in the year, right? Now, back to the main point is through that process of making sure you never go below 35 authentic leads, you still need to be prospecting at least 1 hour a day for new people to bring into your pipeline, either constantly adding higher intent leads and not just filling a bucket, right? And we call that top grading. So we want to constantly find higher intent people and put them in that pipeline. And that may knock some people out of that pipeline and you put them into a later stage. Okay. But that is the concept of top grading. And so that is important because you don't want to get to 35 authentic leads and just stop prospecting for new and not try to top grade. Because what happens is month over month over month, if you're not adding more people to your 90-day, then your 90-day pipeline number is going to continue to drop each and every month. For maybe they are closing, right? Because again, at 35, if you stay there, well, over a 90-day window, you're going to lose seven, not lose, but you're going to close out seven, but you actually may lose some. People in their lives, they change, things change, right? People make decisions in their life that makes a pivot on their real estate goals. And that's just a reality. So you got to constantly add people to it. Okay. Now on our team, there are three core lead buckets that our team is typically focusing on. You got your SOI, you got your past client referrals, and then you got your partner generated opportunities, which are like, your door knocking, circle prospecting, you're doing open houses, you're calling through our large database of PPC and Facebook and all these different leads. And we have almost 30,000 of those people, and we have them in ponds that the agent could call through. But a very healthy approach in the SOI, your past client referral, and your partner generated. Those are three. SOI is one bucket. Past client referrals, combine those, that's bucket two. The third bucket is partner generated. You want to have a healthy approach of trying to get a third your business coming from those three buckets. Okay. So when we talk about the framework of having the pipeline foundation, that is the framework. Okay. Now I told the team this is extremely important because it's one thing to add people to the pipeline, and then when you get them under contract, you do a terrible job, and then those people don't like you anymore after you close, and then you're like, okay, well, that past client is a past client, but they're not an advocate because I did a terrible job. That's one thing, right? You don't want to do that because another silo of your business is being able to turn a stranger into a client and then that client into an advocate. The advocate part, we have to race to get 100 past clients that are advocates of you and the team or the company you work with. And we got to get there as fast as possible because this is a very key ingredient into this blueprint that I'm talking about. Now, this is just the reality. People are moving every 3 to 7 years. And so when they make their decision to make a move again, are you their go-to agent? Are you going to be the go-to? Because once you get to 100 past clients, 10 to 15% of your business should start to become inbound. Okay. So once you get 100 past clients and you're wanting to do 100 deals, okay. Actually, 100 past clients. Let's say you want to do 30 deals. You just hit 100. You want to do 30 this year. Well, you should be able to get at least 10 of those deals from your past client whether they are directly repeating or they're sending you a referral. Okay. They're sending you a referral. And that's just that, because you could get referrals from SOI as well, can't you? I'm just talking about from past clients. These are people that know that should still like you and they trust you. And these are advocates that say, hey, friend or family, go work with my agent. He or she will take care of you. Now, when you do that, there is a thing called compounding, right? There's a compounding effect. And it's not magic, it's just simply math and relationships. It's delivering on the promise that you made from them, that you made to them when they became a client. When you told them you were going to take care of them, when you told them you were going to make sure they were good, did you do it? And then after the transaction, did you maintain that relationship to keep them a client for life? Very simple. A lot of agents are messing this part up. They're messing up the first part too, the pipeline, but they're really messing this up. And they wonder why there's a stat out there that says, hey, actually, I wouldn't mind working with my agent who helped me buy this house, but I don't even remember who they are, or I don't know how to get in contact with them, or some of them are I would never work with them. But there is a stat that I think less than 20% of agents, I want to say less than 20% of people that have bought or sold a house, less than 20% actually go back with that agent that helped them the first time. Okay. So maintaining or retaining your past clients is extremely important when we break down the year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Okay. So here's an example. Let's say year 1, you're new in the business. Okay. You're probably, if you follow this blueprint, you're probably going to land right around here if you're committed. You're going to have 2,000 conversations. So you're gonna have 2,000 conversations with human beings about real estate in that year. You're gonna do 20 closings, which is incredible when we talk about the grand scheme of things, right? When we talk about the average agent is only doing 6 to 8 closings a year, you're doing 20 your first year. Now, based on your market, based on all the different variables, that's going to get you a pretty good income. Okay, at least on our team it does. Year 2, 2,000 conversations drop down to 1,500 conversations, but your closings went from 20 to 35. So we have 1,500 conversations to get us 35 closings, and that gets us a higher income. This is in year 2. Most people think that they cannot do the work, and just because they survived another year in real estate, the next year they're automatically going to make more money or do more deals, and it doesn't work that way. Like, I am so perplexed that people think that is a real thing. It's just not real. Okay. And it's definitely not a plan that you can have confidence behind. Like, just stupid. You got to do the work. So year 2, you became more efficient, you have more context, more experience, and you're just an overall better, higher performing agent. So less conversations required, but you make more money, you help more families. Year 3, those 1,500 conversations drop down to 1,200 conversations. And out of those 1,200 conversations, now you're getting 60 closings. That's year 3. Most agents never even get above 30 closings in a year, and they could be 20 years in. You're already hitting 60. And again, the key thing is we're trying to get to 100 past clients as fast as possible. Okay. So if you count it up, I think we're by year 3, we're at 110 past clients. Let me pull out my calculator. Um, let me see. 105. No, 110, 110. We're at 110, right? 20 closings year 1, 35 year 2, year 3, we close 60. So at the end of year 3, we're over 100 past clients. Boom. Year 4 and year 5 is where it really gets fun. Okay. Year 4, we're at 1,100 conversations, but we're helping 75 families. Okay. 75. In the year 5, we're at 1,000 conversations and we're helping over 100 families in a year. This is so simple, y'all. So simple. And it doesn't work if you're not providing a good service to the clients while you're helping them, because they will work with another agent if you don't continue to earn their business and nurture that relationship, period. And then this 5-year blueprint won't work for you. And so, one thing I want to add before I pivot, as you're going through this, the big discipline point are going to be years 1 and 2. You do not, as you're making more money and you're helping more families or things are flowing, you do not want to increase your lifestyle. You want to pay down any debt you have and you want to build your emergency account. Okay. So you want to have that emergency fund, you want to pay down some debt, and you want to make sure that you're putting money aside for future investing. Okay. Because year 3, that's when you really want to start investing. You have what I call a financial freedom account. You should have easily over $40,000 in that account by the end of year 3. Okay, and by year 5, if you factor in the amount of money that you should be able to make, again, I can only go off our team. If you follow this to a T, you made easily, and this is being conservative, over $800,000 income easily, and most likely you've touched a mil or close to. You're 900,000. You're probably close to a mil, depending on your price point and certain things like that. But on our team, that's more like for sure on a conservative side. We've earned $800,000 income. We've built a extremely strong referral base. You now are building your investment portfolio, and you have zero to low consumer debt. That is leverage in your business, which is your life. Because without the business, you don't build the life that you want. And so let's talk about the financial foundation real quick. Now, I recommend using a money bucket system. So you have an expense account, you have a tax account, you have a financial freedom account for investing, and then you have an emergency account. And that's a simple approach. And every check that comes in, you put money in each account. And then when you start investing, you have several different non-correlated investment vehicles that you can invest into. And by spreading it out, it will help reduce your risk by over 80%. And since you're in real estate should definitely be one of them. But you got stocks, crypto, you can do private lending, you got whole life, precious metals, other businesses that you're investing in or building. You got so many different things. But the goal is you want to build up your assets and decrease your debt as much as possible. Okay. And so this is more than just closing deals. Like, this is about actually building a life that you have designed, creating a business and a business that supports your life, the life that you desire. Right. So again, when we talk about like, okay, that sounds cool. When we talk about the impact that it makes, how does this impact you and your family? How does 5 years from now, you did the thing that you learned on this and you applied it and you actually made this stuff happen? What does life look like then? And how does your family and the people that you love, how are they feeling? What experiences have you provided for them? What options have you provided for your family and the people you care about? Like, again, this isn't about numbers. It's about building a life that you design, and it's doing it on purpose. And this blueprint, it's here because it's real and it works. So are you going to be willing to do the work for 5 years? That's the hard part, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to put a bow on this one, but I want you guys to share this episode with an agent who needs to hear this message. Okay. Share this message, share it with someone that you care about. It could be a very good episode to share with your family to get alignment at home, help them understand what does the 5-year blueprint or plan actually look like? Okay. And so In the training, I went a lot deeper in certain things, and this is something that needs to be repeated and watched over and over again. But this is a good starting point for you. So go out there, do what you got to do. Understand the work that you're putting in today. It's for something greater. It's for something bigger. Follow the process. Take care of people. Right. Make a friend, help a friend. Make sure you maintain a relationship over time. Make sure you're smart with your finances. Make sure you're disciplined and showing up and doing the thing every single day. Okay. And then before you know it, in year three, your everything will look different for you in a good way. You won't even recognize today. And then 2 years later, year five, you will be living a life that most people that you probably never dreamed of living or thought was possible through the vehicle of real estate. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all be strong. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.